I've owned a barbershop since 2015, and we've probably made thousands of pieces of content for social media at this point, because we've pretty much been consistently posting at least once a week, once a day, sometimes more than that, since we opened in 2015. And what I wanted to share in this video was some of the biggest lessons that I've learned when it comes to making content. Because I think, at least for me, it was very confusing starting out. And really, this is not something that I've unlocked till recently. So I'm hoping that I can save you guys a lot of time and energy in this video by sharing with you what's worked for me when it comes to making content for social media. So one of the biggest lessons I've learned when it comes to social media is I think you should first start by thinking, what is your goal? Because more followers does not necessarily equal more dollars. Is your goal to be an influencer? If so, then do that. Like, do the things that get you more views, do the things that are get you more likes, more followers, etc. If your goal is to make money as a barber, then the strategy, I think, should be completely different. At least that's what we've done. Our goal was we never wanted to be, and still don't want to be, a famous, world renowned like barbershop. Our goal as a shop is just to make money. it's just, we want to dominate like our area, but I don't give a shit about like how many followers we get, how many likes we're getting on our posts, because that doesn't pay the bills, you know? So I think the first biggest unlock for me was, what is your goal? Because I get caught up sometimes, even though I know I don't want to be famous and I don't want to have like this huge following. But even then, I still get caught up by thinking, oh, this post didn't get a lot of views, or my channel's not growing. So I should change something, you know? But the reality is, if you always use that as your compass, like, what is your goal? It's going to make decisions, especially when it comes to strategy around content, so much easier. Because if you're like me and what you care about most which is how much money you make, how much the business generate, then what matters is how many clients are coming in the door. That's what you should build your content strategy around, in my opinion. If you want to be an influencer, then chase the views, chase the followers and the likes and the comments and the engagement and all that. And yes, getting more views does help you get seen by more people, but those people aren't going to be coming in and spending money with you. It depends on what kind of business you have. We have a barber shop. So what good is somebody, on the other side of the country following us and liking our posts? Like, what good is that doing us? Like, it drives up the engagement, but we can't pay our bills with likes or comments. We need the revenue coming in, which is why our strategy, pretty much since the beginning, has been focused around what are we going to do in terms of social media that is going to increase the likelihood that when a client sees this, that they're going to come in and give us a shot. Or it could be a client that,
hey, if you're finding this helpful and you want my help personalizing and applying this to your situation, then go to skool.com/barber-mastermind and join my community. It's full of other barbers and hairstylists that are looking to make more money just like you. Hope to see you there. Now back to the video.
already comes to us, and you can use social media to just kind of remind them that you're still there. So with that in mind, if your goal is to make money as a barber, then I think you also need to keep in mind that you don't really need to be super picky the kind of content you create. I still have to fight this urge to be perfect with content. I mean, yeah, I was having second thoughts about whether I should even start recording, in the car, because I'm like, oh, the background noise, whatever, the lighting. I'm using my front facing camera instead of my rear facing, which is less quality. And like, they don't give a shit about that, because ultimately, if you guys are still watching this, it's because you're trying to get something from it, and you probably don't give a shit about what kind of camera I'm using or where I'm sitting and what the background looks like. And you know what? Your clients don't give a shit about that either, right? Because ultimately, what they're going to care about what they're trying to look for is evidence that they're in good hands if they come and sit in your chair. That's really what they're looking for. And so if you're trying to make more money as a barber and you want to use social media as a way to attract new clients, then one of the second biggest unlocks that I had was thinking and keeping in the back of my mind, we are not trying to impress other barbers with our content. Like we're not. Because, and I think that's what stops a lot of people from posting as much as they should, because, at least my barbers in our barbershop, I mean, they're doing 15, 20, sometimes more haircuts per day. And then we have barbers that never post or sometimes don't even have social media, period. And they might have had 20 opportunities to get at least just one photo or video that day. So I don't know why they don't do it, but I suspect that one of the reasons is that they just feel like if they're afraid of the judgment of social media. And social media is a very judgy place. And there are going to be haters. But you know what? Your clients are the ones that you should be trying to impress, not other barbers. So it's okay if that haircut isn't perfect. Just post it anyways. It's okay if that video isn't like super edited and, just post it. If a year later you look back and you're like, I don't want that on my feed anymore, just archive it. I mean, who cares, right? Who cares what other barbers on the other side of the country or the other side of the world even that are never going to come and spend money with you? Who cares what they say about the work that you post on your channel? Just post something, right? It doesn't even matter. And the types of posts matter a lot. That's probably the last thing I'll cover in this video, but what you post on social media also has a big effect because we run ads to get new clients. We do a lot of advertising. We spend a lot of money, thousands of dollars a month just to try to get new clients in the door. And it costs money to get new clients in, like a lot. Sometimes it's costs $50 to get one new client. That's just what Facebook gets. It costs $50 to get that one client in the door, and then they come in and spend 40. So we're usually losing money that first visit. So that cost, that $50 is called the cost of acquisition. So if we spend $100 a day and we got 2 clients, that's $50. That's how that number comes from. But what we found, because lately we've been experimenting with the type of content that we're posting, what we found is that we've been trying to focus on adding value type of posts. Some of them is just me sitting in front of a camera, talking directly to the camera. There's nothing going on in the background. There's no haircut photos, no tutorials, no nothing. And what we found is that is actually starting to lower our cost of acquisition. And our cost of acquisition has dropped from around $50 to around $30. Nothing else has changed. We didn't change anything about the ads. We didn't change anything about the targeting of the ads. Nothing. All we did was change the type of content we post on social media because it all works together. If you're running ads on social media or wherever, what a lot of people are going to do, especially the younger generation, before they decide they're going to do business with you, once they see your ad, the next thing they're going to do is go see what else they can find on you. So they're going to look at your social media. They're going to look at the Google and Yelp reviews. They're going to look at your website. They're going to try to find as much information as possible before they make a decision on whether they're going to come check you out or not. So I see social media as a way of basically just reinforcing what they might have saw in the ad, right? So if the ad shows a haircut, that we don't need to show them a bunch of haircuts on our social media. We're going to show them something else. We're going to give them some advice on how to style their hair. Some things that they can do in between haircuts, things they can do at home to maintain their hair or their beard. Just something that adds value, because there's so many haircut photos on social media now. And I think that is important to post that kind of stuff every now and then, just so that they can see that you do know what you're doing. But I don't think it should be all you post. I don't even think it should be most of what you post. What we're trying to do now is focus mainly on creating content that's going to add value. So teach our clients something, right? Because what we found that when we posted tutorials on our social media, we would get a lot of views, but our clients aren't watching tutorials. The views were from other barbers who are never going to come and get haircuts from us. So if you want to get a lot of views, then go ahead, post tutorials, because that's what a lot of people seem to be into. But I can tell you, they're not going to come in and get a haircut from you. Not likely. I mean, the tutorials do have a place though, because I feel like it kind of shows that you know what you're doing in a way to people that might be prospective clients. But I would just say that it's good to have a mix of content, at least from in my experience. So you can post some tutorials, you can post some haircut photos, but the biggest bang for your buck, at least for us, has been we've been posting content that tries to teach our clients something they can actually use. And that's helping to attract more clients, and it's driving the engagement up from our existing clients, because now they're actually coming back to our channel because we're actually posting something that they can actually use, where they can't really use like a skin fade tutorial because they're not cutting their own hair. We're cutting it. Why do they need to know how to do a haircut? So these are things that might seem obvious to you, but took me years to learn, and I'm still learning. Because if you look at our channel, like any of one of our social media channels, it's House of Shaves Barbershop in Jacksonville, Florida. I mean, we don't have a ton of followers, but we do millions of dollars in revenue. So which would you rather have? Would you rather be broke and have a ton of followers, or would you rather make a lot of money? I think you should also focus on volume, because that's how you get better faster. Don't think about, just take as many photos and videos as you can and just post them. And then through the volume, you'll start to see what works. And then once you find what works, maybe you can dial the volume back a little bit and focus more on quality. But until you know what quality is, what actually brings clients in to sit in your chair, then focus on volume and do as much as possible. We try to post on all of our social media channels at least once a day. We use software to help us do that. Like I use Social Pilot. That's what I use. I don't know if it's the best one. It's worked well for me. There's a lot of them out there. You can there's free ones. You can use Facebook and Meta. You can schedule your posts out on that, but it's only going to work for Facebook and Instagram. But we use Social Pilot because it posts everywhere. It posts Facebook, Instagram, but also TikTok, Twitter or X. It posts on Pinterest. It posts on YouTube. So that's why we use Social Pilot, because it posts everywhere. You can take the same content too and just repurpose it to multiple platforms. So don't just focus on one. You can take all of those vertical videos that you might have taken, all of those pictures, throw them on another channel, throw them on Facebook, throw them on Pinterest, don't forget about YouTube too. Think of YouTube as basically Google, because when people search for barbershop in your area, YouTube is going to show a lot of the videos or tagged in that area. So don't forget about YouTube either. I think that's my favorite platform is YouTube. So those are some of the biggest lessons I've learned with content. Focus on getting clients in the door. Forget about views. I don't think views matter at all if you're trying to build a local business. Focus on adding value in the content that you create, because your clients, your other barbers, are not going to be coming in and spending money with you. Stop trying to impress other barbers. Focus on impressing your clients, teaching your clients, and that will lead to more money in your pocket. And then just do a lot of that. Do a lot of it until you figure out what works, until you have a good system, and then you can dial it back a little bit. But hopefully you guys found that helpful. See you in the next video.